good evening, guys, and welcome to the first episode of Queens of the Cannon, new podcast on the Mr. Arsenal podcast and El Smugo Discord hub. I'm Jonesy, as you well know, and I would like to introduce my panel for today's show. Kicking us off, Georgie boy, how you doing, mate?
I'm good, mate. Good to be here. Congratulations on the start of the show as well. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
Cheers, thank you very much. Ryan, how you doing, mate?
Absolutely melting, but happy to be here. Happy to be here. Talk about the Arsenal, relive the Lisbon day, and some other things for that day.
Absolutely, we'll be doing that as well. And we have a couple of new panelists as well with us. Thank you for coming on tonight, Andrew.
Cheers, boss. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. Thanks for inviting me.
No worries. And Chantel as well, another newbie. How you doing?
Yeah, happy to be a part of this. Obviously, worked alongside George and Andrew, so happy to see some new faces.
Excellent. And a regular as always, G, how you doing? Thanks again for last night, by the way.
I was about to say, am I forgiven now for my smuggery last night?
You know what? There's a slight worry about he's going to pop up and a picture appear, but I don't think he will. He's in the background somewhere.
Nothing planned tonight.
But yeah, that's excellent. So yeah, welcome to the new channel. We're going to be working alongside George's Arsenal Women's Chat Show a lot over the summer with transfers and Euros, as well as into the new season. George, did you want to touch on a bit about your channel and the stuff we'll be doing?
Yeah. Me and a few others, including Andrew and Chantel, and half now. We do the Arsenal Women's Chat Show where we focus just predominantly, as it says on the tin, the Arsenal women. So we're going to be working alongside El Smugo's hub and with Jonesy and a few of the other guys just to kind of collaborate on Euros, some transfer news, even some few cheeky watch-alongs along with that probably. Yeah, we'll probably have some highs and lows, not going to lie, throughout the next few seasons, but we'll all be together when we win the quadruple while beating Chelsea in the last game of the season.
Yes, absolutely, we will be. So no, some good things to look forward to. And just going to say a couple of hellos into the chat. Catherine's here. How you doing, Catherine? Nice to see you in. We also have a complete unknown, great name. But yeah.
Not my brother, is
it? This is the right place to come
Preach
to.
that.
There'll be none of that chat in here tonight. I'm sure of it. So George, I'll kick off with you first, mate. Obviously, season didn't get off to a great start, did it? We had a change of manager, and she kind of pulled it out the fire, didn't she? What was your thoughts on the season in a whole, mate? And obviously, I know you're itching to speak about what happened at the end of the season, but we'll hold that off a little bit. I know you're itching for it to get in them Chelsea skins, mate.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, like you said, the season didn't start that well. I think it was really weird, mate, because when we watched it in pre-season, we thought, oh, they actually look quite decent, and that was under Jonas, the man, he who must not be named. And then the season started. Obviously, we had the qualifying round. We lost to Häcken, but managed to turn that around. But I can't really put my finger on it where it went wrong, apart from that it went wrong. There was performances under Jonas that we know are not good enough for this football club, like drawing 0-0 at home to Everton was probably my worst one. I think that was, I stood in the at the Emirates, folded my arms, and I was fuming. I was absolutely fuming. I think I was standing next to Andrew, and so he can counter for that. I was like,
you had a massive sulk.
Yeah, a proper sulk. And then I said I wasn't going back until we went, and luckily that weren't that long. So, but then I don't think it was as bad. Like, it wasn't 100% bad. There was some bright spots. I thought Caitlin Ford, probably was one of our best players around that sort of time. And then obviously Renee took over, and I don't really think I don't think she really changed that much, apart from getting the players to believe in themselves and believe in the message what Renee was trying to put across. Because you look, it's the same sort of players. Renee's not really she had one transfer window where she brought in Jenna and Was that it? Oh, and I forgot Chloe. So, yeah, no, I think the only thing that she drastically changed was putting Steph Catley at centre half, which when we watched her, like I'm sure other people agree, she can't play at left back anymore because she just hasn't got it. But playing at centre half alongside Leah, I think has brought the best out in her again. So, like, obviously, I know we'll talk about apparently some little cup in Lisbon in a little while, but I think if we're being brutally honest, throughout the season, yeah, we finished second, but we need to massively close that gap and really seriously push Chelsea for the WSL title. And I would like an FA Cup run, but that just goes back down to having squad depth.
Yeah, no, totally agree with you there, mate. And Andrew, just going over to you, mate. What was your highlight? Would you say of this season, other than the Champions League win? If you could pick another highlight and maybe one of your favourite players, who would that have been for you this season?
Yeah, and obviously getting the chance to sit next to George.
Yeah, exactly.
I just get emotional thinking about that, but
not in a good way.
Well, is there a bad way, George? I don't know. I mean, again, it's perhaps a little bit obvious, minus the final. I think it would be for me Lyon away, which is astonishing. I think we knew we were better than that. We knew that Lyon weren't as good as they'd shown, but you know, at the end of the day, the result was the result at the Emirates, and so it felt like a mountain to climb. And yeah, we'd beaten them 4-0 about 18 months before, but that felt like that was the situation, and kind of everything fell into place that night. But yeah, I think going into that Lyon game, and you know, we just battered them. It was an absolute, you know, it was, and we needed to. I mean, that was the other thing. We needed to get. We were 2-0 down. We needed to get 3, and then you know we just. And it was almost the perfect game. You know, nice early goal just before half time, goal straight after the half time. It was almost that perfect game. Favorite players? I don't really go with favorite players, but I think that's it. I think Chloe Kelly coming in had a massive impact on sort of on everything. And there's so many changes, so much kind of evolution. It's hard to really say that, but I think you just, when she came on for the first game, the crowd were just right behind it. She just brings something different, you know, as a player. So not necessarily my favorite, although just appreciate that's probably all I talked about. So appreciate I might be showing my hat, tipping my hand, but I think she had a you know, and she got the starting spot off Beth basically as well.
Yeah.
And her profile is a little bit different, you know. I always think, you know, she doesn't cross the ball in, she passes it, you know, her crosses are like a pass. She doesn't just put it in the box, she puts it on a head or a foot that she's aiming for. So yeah, those are kind of to answer those two questions.
And Chantel, I'll go to you the next one. We've got to talk about Renee. When she come in, obviously the squad was very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very, I wouldn't say they were connected. I think Jonas had kind of dismantled the squad a bit with morality. Did you expect her to do such a good job and to bring that squad together like she did?
Yeah and no, because she kind of working underneath Jonas, like she kind of knew the fundamentals and the structure of what Arsenal is, so she already had that passion. But to completely change what a previous manager has set up in a very quick turnaround to make a difference, it's almost a difficult thing to do, because you normally allow like a season for them to make the changes, and then the next season is like, right, that's the season we're playing for. Yeah. But she seemed to have won the team over. She seemed to be there for the players, and I think that's what most of the players really made as a breaking point of like, we knew that we could go to her and she was there for us. So then knowing that you've got someone that has your back, it kind of just gives you that confidence and that boost and morality to just like put it all on the line, which I think Jonas did lose. And like, I think basically the messing around with the whole interim, will she get it, will she not get it, will they get other people? I think there was no other choices apart from her when she was acting as interim.
Yeah, no, definitely. She was the right candidate, wasn't she, for the job? I think G mentioned it on a show a while ago. She was like up and about, and you were saying to me, G, that you was like, she's really active on that touchline, even when Jonas was still at the club and in charge. And G, I just want to speak to you about Russo. I mean,
My hero.
we've had chats to G about Russo, and I was so happy when she joined this club.
Oh, you did mention it, Jonesy.
Yeah, quite a few times, didn't I?
Mention it too.
How do you think, obviously, this season went for her, and obviously bigger and better things to come from her?
Yeah, I mean, obviously she had a good season, like last season, really, but there was always the talk behind the of like the fans of United sort of on her back quite a lot on like online and stuff. And there's no doubt, no matter how much you try and block it out, it's going to affect you, isn't it, at the end of the day? But I think this year she's been allowed to have a bit more freedom, and you can see that what she's returned back to us. Now she's the most valuable player in the WSL, apparently. I read yesterday. You know, those things, and she's won a couple of awards herself. So, you know, it just goes to show that everything is clicking for her really nicely. I do think as well with Chloe coming in, that's probably given a bit of extra confidence as well. Obviously, Lionesses all click together. Obviously, Beth's not had the best of season, so I think those two have clicked really well as well. But yeah, she just seems to have settled fully into what Arsenal was all about now as well. And yeah, I think she's probably been on the best form of her career so far. So hopefully she gets through the summer all okay, and she's ready to sort of kick in from the beginning of the season. But yeah, like others have been saying, I think the confidence of having Renee in that period of arguments, and because it was a bit frosty, like I was in, as you were saying, I think it might have been the Chelsea game, but I can't quite remember. And it was just before Jonas left. And obviously you don't really pay attention to backroom staff, to be honest. I didn't really know who she was, to be fair. And he was just sat there, and she was up running around, and I thought, oh, who's this? Who's she? What's she all about? And then it wasn't long after that, then obviously she took over the ropes. But you could see straight away that the girls had a connection with her and sort of probably felt safe, and to be able to express themselves. And yeah, I mean, it's just been amazing, and thank God we did it when we did, I think, and didn't drag it out longer.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Just want to say about Russo, just in case there are any United fans watching, just for you especially, 2 years ago she left to win the Champions League.
Yeah. How much for? How much for was it again?
Yeah,
Zero Great British.
Couldn't see the price, mate. Like, that's the way it works.
Priceless.
Yeah. But yeah, I do agree with what G said about Russo. I think she's stepped up massively, and like I remember when people said, "Oh, she don't score in big games." Well, she ain't done bad in recent times. So I think obviously having Russo as that main person up front, I just think like she's different, completely different ball game with Leslie Russo when she's fit and firing. Jonesy, I'll come to you quickly. I don't know if you agree, but I thought she maybe towards the end of the season when she was carrying that injury, she really wanted that golden boot, didn't she? So do you think that entered into her head?
Yeah, I kind of think it does, because she was snapping a bit at chances, weren't she? You could see she was desperate for a goal, and I think the golden boot was weighing on her mind. But no, yeah, she got us through, didn't she, in the end? So obviously, hopefully she gets through the England and stuff like that, the Euros, and has a nice little rest before she comes, like G said, comes back to us and we get going again for next season. But yeah, I can't wait to see her again next season. Bigger and better things from her, definitely.
And then Ryan, I'll come to you because I know we love a good goalkeeper chat, Ryan. We love it. So we're not gonna go with the obvious yet. We're gonna tease people, as Liam would say, a bit of a tease. But Van Donselaar, absolute world class, hasn't she? Like this season. What's your thoughts on Daphne?
Fantastic! What a signing we got in the summer. she obviously comes in. It was obvious she was coming to be the number one at some point.
Yeah.
But for the season she had previous at Villa, the injuries, when she did play, mistakes weren't really settled properly. Then coming to an upgrade, with all due respect, in the women's game, the ultimate upgrade in the women's game to come to Arsenal, having that pressure on you, it doesn't look like. I've said it all season. Look at the difference of the entire, not just the entire team, actually, the back line when she's in goal compared to other people in goal, not mentioning no names. We're more at ease, and she actually knows how to use her hands. 9 times out of 10, she'll actually use her hands when the ball's going towards her hands, unlike other people were saying. But no, she's fantastic. And it says what rams home how fantastic she is. For the two biggest games of our season, in the semi-final second leg and a final, she wasn't even fully fit. She played through an injury and pulled it out the bag in both games. Absolutely pulled it out the bag. And I can't fault her. And I can't wait to see her next season now.
Yeah, I think that speaks volumes. Also, I'll just go to you, Andrew, quickly. I think it speaks volumes at the level that the Arsenal fan base was saying, "Oh, we need Daphne to play." And like, forget about what people's criticism of Zinsberger is, or like that's not really relevant at the moment. But the level what Daphne stepped up just from when we signed her to where people think about her now. She's probably one of the first names on the team sheet, isn't she?
Yeah, I agree. I think Ryan was absolutely right. I think we all knew that eventually she would get the number one, but for her to kind of win it over within a handful of games was astonishing. And contrary to popular opinion, I think Manu Zinsberger is a really good goalkeeper. However, Daphne is elite. I think she is the best goalkeeper in the WSL. Yes, I'm biased, of course, but I think it's a decent conversation. I don't know enough about the other goalies.
I'd like to know who is better. Like, I've watched Hannah Hampton concede 10 goals against Spain or Spanish players. Like, I get she's a good goalkeeper and stuff like that. And then we've got the United goalkeeper, you've got the City one. But I still think, I was going to say blinded by loyalty there, but but I just think Daphne, like, name me a better goalkeeper, or name me 3 better goalkeepers than her across the world. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Fair point. Yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah, so I think that's what you got to think of as well. Like, she made some big saves against some of the best players in the world as well. Like, it wasn't like against, say, no disrespect to teams, say like Crystal Palace and that, and Spurs, like little clubs, but Lyon, like that Lyon game, and even in the final against Barcelona, like it was just, and in the WSL, there's just been some big, massive saves from Daphne, and when she was injured, we struggled. And I do agree with what Ryan said. I think with Manu, I don't think the back four trusted us. I think that didn't really help Manu as well.
Yeah, I'm just reading a comment from Catherine here. If you look at the number of clean sheets per games played, DVD has been the better goalkeeper this season. I even think the Barca keeper is not as high as of a percentage. So yeah, hit the nail on the head there. She probably is the best at the moment.
Daphne came third in the clean sheet race as well, didn't she? With the Golden Glove as well.
Yeah.
If she
missed
played
3 of those games
at the end, I think she would have got the glove. It was
a shame that she obviously started off slow with us because of that injury, and then she picked up an injury, so she did miss a couple of WSL games. So I think if she'd played the whole season, it would have been a lot tighter for her and Hannah Hampton.
Yeah,
I don't rate Hampton. I don't know. I don't watch England enough, so I don't think. I think Hannah Hampton's good. I just don't think she's as good as everyone makes out.
You'll find out come next month. Don't worry. When we get knocked out the group stages.
Wow. That's fine, mate. I don't mind. Like, less games for Arsenal players to play.
I completely forgot who we got in our group stages. I think
we got France.
We've got France and Netherlands.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Well,
Maybe
that's one easy game.
And
Got France.
just sticking with you, Chantel, I just want to touch on obviously Mariana Caldente, third Champions League title, obviously two with Barcelona, one with us. How instrumental has she been this season for us? Absolutely class, hasn't she?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's her third time in a row winning the Champions. So obviously she's doing something to be a part of that winning streak. And like when you look game to game stats on her, the amount of either passes or the driving that she does from picking up the ball deeper in our own half to then driving it up, like she's just an all-round player. She's calm and cool and collected on penalties, big games. She just like how she plays against the little teams. She basically plays like that against the bigger teams as well. It seems to be that there's no real person that or team that really shuts her down where you don't really hear of her much, or you don't, as George likes to say, sending someone to Sainsbury's. So, like, yeah, I mean, it's her first season with us and her debut season, and she already got a season of player of the season.
Yeah.
So I think just having that title in itself speaks records for what she's achieved with us.
Absolutely. I'm just glad we've got her. Do you know what I mean? She's ours. Do you know what I mean? I sit
No
there.
us than anyone else.
Exactly. I just sit there and think, yeah, she is ours. And that's it. And then I just smile. And G, just go over to you. Obviously, Leah Williamson, led by example yet again, another season. I know injury-ridden season, wasn't it, for her this year? So it wasn't the best in that terms, but she's going to be lining up for England in the summer. Would you have preferred her to maybe withdrawn? We've seen a few players withdrawn over the course of the last few weeks. Would she have been one you would like to have seen withdrawn ready so she had a full pre-season?
It's hard, isn't it? Because like the sentiment is there. It's like she's the England captain. It's a big responsibility on her shoulders that she probably. You never know as well. She might have seen some of backlash from other players sort of doing their thing, and whether you agree with it or not, some people have gone a bit crazy for the reasons of retirements and everything else. So I don't know, but when the Euros are on, we'll be very proud to see her as a Gooner leading the way again, won't we? So it's one of those, like, it's a short career. We can't be sort of hoping that they don't get their chance on the big stage in order for us to have a better season.
Yeah.
It's one of those, isn't it? Like, of course we want them and pray they're all going to get through it absolutely fine. There's always that in your mind that you think, oh God, please nothing happen. But also when they're representing the Arsenal on the international stage, like with the last Euros, it's like it's so special, isn't it? Apologies for skipping out. For some reason, I don't know if it's my phone, it's like overheating, and then the everyone's voices go to like robots. So I was like, I'm gonna bail before I talk. Reset it. So if I do dip, I'm just resetting. Sorry.
No worries at all. And obviously, the last player I just want to touch on, and I'll go to you, Andrew, again. Sorry, guys, we will come to you the Champions League bit. But Katie McCabe, mate, she just cracks me up every time I watch her. Obviously, outstanding performances on the pitch. Absolutely pissed out her face at the trophy lift, which we were all here for. Missing the bus as well, missing the coach, and she's legging it across the road, which was brilliant. I saw that. But what did you make of her season this year, mate?
I mean, yeah, starting off, yeah. I mean, the absolute legend for shithousery. I'm going to mention Chloe Kelly again. I think she's got a partner in crime now, so no one is safe at any end of the field. But yeah, I think I think with Katie, I think there's so much more to her game that's perhaps immediately obvious. I think her versatility is huge. When you say what position do you play, well, you say, well, it depends what part of the game, what's the game state we're in, because she's, you can see her moving her way, and this is under instruction. Clearly, you can see that she's playing a kind of an overlapping left wing with Caitlin tucking in. She sometimes has moved into the kind of a centre midfield. She's played left back as well. I think it's going to be interesting next year because I think towards the end of last year, teams were recognizing that basically Katie was going to be caught high up. That was the way we were playing. So I don't know whether Renee's going to, or what Renee will do about that. But yeah, I think Katie McCabe is just that kind of that street baller, isn't she? She's the, if you were in the playground, you'd pick her first because, if it all kicks off, you're going to hide behind Katie.
Exactly.
But she's a quality player. And I don't think she gets the recognition. Funny enough, I think she does more outside of the Arsenal, but within the Arsenal fan base, I don't think she always gets the credit that she deserves. Statistically, she was, one of our best players. So of course, the leading the she's like the red coat that got out of hand in that, and it's just hilarious. Again, I think you might want to sort of rev on the field, but you wouldn't want to be in the hotel next to her. You wouldn't be in the same town, to be fair. But hey, fair play. She's won as a Champions League, so I'm all right with it.
No, excellent. And all right, we've put it off long enough. George, go for it, mate. I know you want to talk about Lisbon, and why not?
Yeah, the Sevens tournament was really good. It was obviously. I think generally going in, it was weird. Generally going into, I spoke to a lot of Arsenal fans who said we've done amazing just to get there, and I this was before my 7 or 8 beers in Pink Street. I said, you just never know. You just never know. And I was like, no, we'll probably be 4-0 down at half time. Yeah, but you just don't know. Did I think we'd play how we did? No way. I have to eat a bit of humble pie. A couple of times I've not been the biggest fan of Leah Williamson at the start of the season. I thought there were some performances where she was not good at all. I think that's how I put it, didn't I, Andrew? Or did I?
Something along those lines. Yeah, you're paraphrasing. That's good. That's fine.
Phrase in there.
Yeah. I think she was in. I think she was in the doghouse a few times. But you can't argue with her. Like, she stood up and was. But I think that game was probably the best game I've ever seen Leah Williamson play. I just thought she led from the back. Like, everyone, we just played as a collective team unit. And also we will. Andrew, I'll come to you because a certain Scottish midfield genius got absolutely. Well, she was near enough sent to the care home and retirement home, wasn't she? On some of our shows, Kim Little.
Yeah.
What a legend! I nearly dropped an F-bomb. Sorry, Ryan.
I think there was. I think it was around about the time of the hand injury, wasn't it?
Yes, I don't know what happened. I wouldn't mind one of those eye operations because why she come back?
Yeah, I don't know whether maybe she just needed the rest, or maybe you can only suspect that she probably was carrying one of those injuries that sort of was perhaps having more of an impact. But yeah, and I think it was interesting the way kind of Renee moved her and Caldente into the kind of the midfield roles there, which I think was one of the, you mentioned about sort of some of the things that Renee did that Jonas would never have done, and that was it, putting two basically attack-minded players into those kind of central midfield roles where previously it had been, Leah Valti, and you could see that she'd set us, Renee set, and even going into Barcelona, Renee had set a stall out. It's like, we're going to go for this. We're not going to just low block all the game. But yeah, I think Kim Little has been it's remarkable. I think what they, maybe we should all go and break our fingers at some point because it was just remarkable.
I can do it for you if you want, mate.
Yeah, I just realised I'm having flashbacks already. I'm just gonna have to just get my therapist on the line. 1 second. Astonishing, and I just 10 more years, Kimmy Little is all we can say.
I do find it funny when we manage to get up to 1 million years. Sometimes it does go quite well. Then obviously carrying it on, G, I'll come to you if you're.
She's just popped out for a second.
Right, no, I won't come to G. There you go. Like live shows with someone who can't see. Just yeah. Anyway, Ryan, are you here?
Yes, I am.
I thought you was going to be a bit of a knob and just go quiet and see how
Everyone just say, no, George, you're on your own.
I'll have Tash and Mika having to ask them about the stuff. Yeah, Ryan, obviously I think you done the watch along for it, didn't you? Like, what was your views going into the game? That obviously we took thousands of fans out there, which I think was an amazing effort. But obviously, being a fan watching from home, what was your views?
Well, I always knew, no matter, because my thing was with the UEFA side of things was the allocation of tickets. I wasn't happy with the UEFA's allocation because for the new 60,000 capacity stadium, only 9,000 each were both pathetic. Especially for the big for Barcelona, because you've got to think they've got a following over there with their current success in the last decade or so. But we, as a club over here, we know we saw the next a couple of days later, tens of thousands of fans were outside the Emirates days later. The following's there from our side of things. We know what the fan base in the women's game has been there for years, and it's grown and grown day by day. So I always, no matter how people got tickets or not, I always knew fans would go out anyway to support the girls, and fantastic for them. But for me, it was at home. To the day itself, I was fine. I was thinking, yeah, this is the final, fantastic, putting it on. Well, what will be, because obviously we're going up against Barcelona. This is the all-conquering Barcelona for the last few years. They just battered the best team apparently in England, 8-2 over 2 legs.
I'd hate to be a Chelsea fan.
Yeah, I for one would, yeah. No, so I'll be honest. I was optimistic. I thought we could do something. If we turned, I said, on the day itself on the live stream, bit in the build up. If our girls as a collective can turn up on the day, we can call something. We can do something here. Yeah. It's just a matter of turning up and not doing what Chelsea did a few years back. If you know, you know. And to the play, they all turned up, and the pride I felt watching the girls, considering what mentally would have been going, because obviously the form wasn't all that, because we lost to Villa, the Brightons, we just about got past United in the last game of the season. It's a bit dippy in terms of defence going into a game of that magnitude, but they turned up. It didn't matter. They turned up and put a performance in, and no one went hiding. Not one player went hiding from the starting 11, the subs. One player we haven't really mentioned so far is Emily Fox. For her first full season, she has been fantastic. Again, we talk about goalkeeper. Name me a better goalkeeper. Name me a better right back in the league.
I don't think there's one in the world, mate. To be honest, like personally, I don't. I think she's well better than Lucy Bronze. I hear people getting compared to, but I just think what Emily Fox, the level she's brought the rest of the players at. Like you see, when we've got people like Fox, Van Donselaar, Caldente, and Russo, that's levels, mate. That's not like them other players like that we've mentioned as well. Like I don't think they put some of them performances if it's not for people like Emily Fox.
No, as I was in the run. I was lucky enough to get to the Emirates for the semi-final first leg and see it all in person. Yeah. And she gets forward and all, but for her role as a right back, she can defend and she will defend and she won't shy away from it. Even if she's caught out, she'll run back, she'll bust her gut for the team, she'll put all the effort in. And I think one of my best goals of the season was her goal against Tottenham. It was one of the games at the Emirates.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
absolute thunderbolt. I'm being very polite. We've not been past Watershed yet, so I can't really say what I want to say. But yeah, Emily Fox has been fantastic. And that game she was fantastic, and the entire team was fantastic. And the maturity from the team, especially in the start of the second half, where Barca came out and they started showing what they're all about, and they really upped the ante, put the pressure on our defence. And Bayern hitting that crossbar once, but more luck than anything on our part. Apart from that, they didn't look like they're going to get past us, and we just had to bide our time and get the subs from Rene. Fantastic.
I think that's what the difference was as well. Like I said, the subs are going to be massive.
Yeah, and the timing was spot on as well. For in game itself, we have discussions about on the other side of things, on the men's side of things sometimes. But with Renee in a big game like that, to get it spot on, not just personnel but timing, can't fault her. And when Stina came on, she provided a proper threat, a vocal point where get the ball, and she was running. She was actually staying on the side and running at their defence, and their defence didn't know what to do. And when the goal came, it had to be Beth for the assists. I'm so with everything she's been through with the ACL, passing of her mum in the last 18 plus months, for her to get that assist, only she could have tried that and pulled it off. But to fall to Stina, get the goal, and then the maturity afterwards from our team to see this game out. And even then, we could have scored a second afterwards, actually, if I'm thinking about it. But still, defensively, as a team, be switched on to the very last second. Even I remember Caldente getting the ball, running to near their corner flag and drawing a foul.
Yeah.
Just because not going towards guys, getting the ball, drawing a foul, get the ball, slow things down. It's brilliant. And before kickoff, I said we'd win. I thought we'd win. I thought we'd be 2-1 though. I didn't think we'd keep the clean sheet because it's Barcelona, but I was giving Barcelona their respect. But I thought we'd win it 2-1. But 1-0. I mean, we did 18 years ago 1-0. Why not do it again 1-0 in a one-off game? I mean, and seeing how it meant for the girls in the aftermath, Russo burst, literally breaking down in tears seconds after the whistle's gone. Leah's on the floor. Kim's going over to hug her and get her up and all that. Even Chloe Kelly, we mentioned already, who's on loan. And what it meant for her in the aftermath of the match itself, and she's coming out and saying, she was ready back in January to tap out basically and give it a break in football. And the club, Arsenal coming in and sort of saved her and got a enjoyment back for the sport.
Yeah,
it's things like that as well. It puts a lot of things in perspective. But to do what we did against, yet again, by the way, because when we won it in 2007, sorry, it was against the best team in women's game in Europe at the time. We won it. And we've done it again 18 years against the best team. And Chelsea struggle. I don't get how Chelsea can struggle constantly. They play Chelsea every year. They struggle. I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Emma Hayes struggled. Sonia's meant to be the answer of Lucy Bronze. They got absolutely torn apart. Yet we turn up and go, we're a bad form, but hi. It's
a piece of cake, isn't it? I don't know what the fuss is about. It's only Barcelona.
Yeah, my heart bleeds for Chelsea, like it really does.
Just so you know, as well, George G is back now.
Okay, cool.
Sorry, I will wrap this up. When you consider we played Barcelona a couple of years back under Giannis, we got battered both home and away in the group stages.
It wasn't important then, was it? Like, it's a final, we'll win it. So
Well, no, if someone said to you after that home game in the group stages after we got battered, 2 years later you'll come back, you'll be in a final and you'll beat Barcelona 1-0, you would have sent the person to the loony bin. And yet here we are. But it's in the Arsenal. It's only Arsenal can do it. Only in the land.
Just want to say a couple of hello. Sorry, mate. Hello to Laura in the chat who's in. Stefan's in. El Smuggo's in there as well somewhere. He's not doing well with the heat apparently. He's got the fans on, so yeah. He's got enough fans to be honest, to be fair, that guy.
As long as they're
Especially with 2 stars, yeah.
As long as they're the only ones, we'll be all right. G, I'll come to you now I know you're here. So obviously we was in Lisbon together. Like, how was your experience in Lisbon on the whole? Because I think did you go out on the Friday?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we went via a different route to sort of save some money because it all got a bit crazy once we qualified, didn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, we arrived Friday evening, went out straight away to sort of meet up with some friends. I mean, Lisbon, what a wonderful place.
Yeah, it's lovely.
I've never been to Portugal, but I was just like, this place is amazing. It was like the perfect place for us to have been all weekend. But yeah, it was just you can't really put it into words. Like everything about it was just perfect. The people were so nice, the locals. Obviously, everyone just meeting up together. The fan zone I thought was brilliant. Arsenal could have maybe stepped up a bit to match Barca's energy, but that's for another year, I suppose. But yeah, just everything about it was amazing. Just what a weekend! I wish I could live it all over again. I was lucky to obviously do 3 European games this season, all very different for different reasons. But yeah, what a night! The icing on the cake, obviously, and if we never get to live that again, then at least we've done it at that stage. And yeah, obviously we bumped into each other on the Sunday afternoon, and once we'd recovered a bit from the late night / early morning Sunday, so that was always nice as well, just to obviously be with people that you know and care about watching the Arsenal.
George has seemed to have he's disappeared after that. He's back on the lash, it looks like. But no, Chantel, did you get the chance to go out there, or did you watch it at home?
No, I watched it. Well, I watched that at the pub, and I always got rowdy because a man was like, "Oh, what's that? Oh, it's just the women's. It don't count." And I was like, "Just the women's." I was like, "These ladies, like every season, will bring titles home, and the men can't. Like, not bashing the men, like Arsenal, but like men in general, the men England team. It's like it's never." So I just got in an argument about it. I was so passionate, but yeah, no, I managed to get a couple of mates at the pub, put it on, watched it. Had a few looks at me when I was shouting and cheering from that goal that got disallowed, but I was quite happy that like in the end, when you look back on it, if that goal stood, would Barcelona then come out into a different gear so early on in the game, so then the rest of the game would have been completely different. So if anything, I'm glad that goal was disallowed, and then we scored later into the game when it caused Barcelona to panic and they had to push that goal, whereas we could just bide our time, take the punches that they gave us, and like we did that really calm, and it just kind of seemed like everybody knew what they needed to do on that day, and it was like a fairy tale, to be honest.
Yeah.
Cool.
And Andrew,
I'm back. Sorry,
back, yeah.
phone went weird.
And Andrew, yourself, was you watching it in the pub, at home, family, or
at home on my own? It's really weird. I didn't honestly. I can say now, emotionally, I was kind of quite flat going into the game. It was, but after about 20 minutes, it was terrible because then hope started to settle in. It's like, oh, actually, maybe we could. And then anxiety kicked in massively and grew and grew and grew. And then we ruined it all by scoring. And my anxiety was going through the roof at that point. So yeah, it was a fairly roller coaster. And then, I mean, I don't know about everybody else, but it was, I was absolutely sobbing. I was just, the emotion of it. It was just like, this is the biggest thing ever. And I can remember like you said, the Alex Scott final when it was a 2-legged one and we won that. But this was just a bit, I think because I've been managing to get to so many games this year, although George reckons I only went to about 2, but it was the emotional roller coaster of going into it, coming in. I thought we had I thought, we get a puncher's chance. It's a one-off game. We can score goals. We know we've got that in us. We know we can score for fun against anyone. But I was a little bit flat. But like I say, when they started, after those first 20 minutes, it was like just kind of stopped. I thought, oh my God, we're doing really, really well. And we're not. It's not even like we're not just surviving. We were really in the game. And then, but yeah, it was it was emotional, as they say.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I watched it at a child's birthday party, which was Andreas, and I was hidden behind a bouncy castle. So yeah,
that must have been a big, tall, bouncy castle.
It was indeed. It wasn't until one of the kids went to my daughter Paige, "Why is your dad crying?" And then just because we won the Champions League, it's why.
Yeah, that was like towards the end of the game. So I had a headset at the start. It didn't last long. It was actually on my phone this time, Andrew. So the problem I had it in English for the first 10 minutes, and then someone was walking past and jolted me and it moved it to Portuguese.
Oh,
But obviously I couldn't understand the voiceover because it was in Portuguese. So I had an alternative commentary in that, and then I think I was more anxious when they done the added on time because I thought they're just going to score, aren't they? Like it's just typical Arsenal PTSD against Barcelona. I was still scarred from the men's final last time. I was just like, I think I remember having a couple of people saying, "You're probably good you can't see this." And then obviously we won, and I just started crying. I was more shocked. You know that when you think like, what have we done? Not in a bad way. Like, what have we done? And then I was just like, everyone was like hugging each other, and I was just stood there. It was like I don't know, like how probably Mikel would be if he wins the Champions League that season. Yeah, it was just absolutely crazy. Are we wrapping up on that bit, Jonesy?
Yeah, you sent me.
Right. So
go on.
we've got a little clip to play you. Like you might recognise the song. So over to you, Jonesy.
Yeah, so George sent me this little audio clip that he'd like me to play. It's a song that was played out in Lisbon. So hope you enjoy. Cracking.
If that's not number one, like there's no X Factor
I've
anymore.
only just got that out of my head, and now it's gone.
Oh, there you go. It's like when they do the Fringe, like at Christmas when you're not allowed to hear like Last Christmas or something. It's like that. So thanks to Cloudy for some of the people that know.
She's brilliant. Cloudy is brilliant. There's a couple. There's Underneath the Lights is another one that she's done about the Arsenal. Brilliant song.
But yeah, that's that. What a tune! I'm not gonna die.
Definitely. And just before we got a giveaway come out in about 10 minutes. So just before we do that, I just want to go through the panel just before we wrap up. And just if you could give me one player you would like to come in over the summer. Doesn't have to be a detailed explanation because obviously we've got some transfer shows coming up. But I'll start with you, George.
Tony Duggan. No. I would go Trinity Rodman.
Ryan?
Ella Toon. Get around Russo partnered up again and bring back the love and joy of football to another player that's been ruined at Manchester.
Good shout.
I've just rated her basically for the last 4 or 5 years before we got Russo, and I think getting her in, she's clearly not happy with Skinner, so he's staying put. So why not capitalise on it again?
Good shout. To be fair, I did say that to George off air about Ella Toon. So yeah, you've nipped by one. Cheers, mate.
I was torn between Rodman and Letizia, to be honest.
Yeah, Andrew, how about yourself?
Well, I think the profile. I mean, there's the gap on the left wing with Lean. Well, we've just done it seems like we've had a permanent gap on the left wing for about several years through various reasons. I think a young winger is needed, quick. Olivia Smith from Liverpool.
Mm-hmm. Good shout as well, yeah, definitely. Chantel?
Well, Andrew stole my one, but I also had Caicedo. I think she's quite a young one that is very direct, attacking. She's not she's got speed on her, and when we played her the first time, she did a lot of damage with taking one-on-one defenders on.
She seems to be like how I used to be. Like I was the same age for about 10 years. Like she seems to have been 20 for the last actual 20 years. So she's good.
And G, yourself?
Salma from Barca.
Yeah, that's Marvel one. Cheers.
Yeah.
If it's
out there, go for it. 100%.
Yeah, no, I did say her after George put me off Ella Toon. Yeah, I just think she'll be perfect for that role on the wing there, definitely.
I just don't think she's consistent enough for the tune. Like that's like I've seen we like in the WSL, we've seen her have some brilliant games, and then she can go missing for like 5 or 6. But then maybe that's the Man United way. I don't know, but I
was going to say, could you not put that down to the fact of the Mike Skinner effect? I mean, the reason why Russo left, and then Mary Earp's all that left.
Yeah, I don't understand why. I can understand players going there who want to maybe develop their career, but for ones who don't actually want to go and
I mean, she's quite similar to Beth as well, isn't she? That she had her father just passed away and she had that calf injury. And she's like, I'll give a shout out to Karen. She also likes to score bangers in big games at Wembley, so let her take it to the FA Cup final.
We have to get to Wembley first. We get knocked out the third round normally.
We'll get there.
Excellent. And so yeah, Ryan, over to you, mate. We've got a little giveaway going.
What about you? You got your what's your answer?
He said the Barca first.
I said Ella Toon, and then I said Salma. So who do I go for next?
I'm glad you're listening, Ryan.
Oh, no, just making sure. You're the host. Get involved.
Well, my two has gone. It's gone. Can't think of anyone else. Patelis, there you go. Let's get her in. Why not?
Just a rubbish freedom order.
Right, James, you want to show have you got the picture or your end?
Yes, I have. Let me pop that up here now. I will put that up. So this is what you're in for a chance of winning. Ruth Beck art, Caldente and McKay print from this season, which is fantastic prize. Please do check out Ruth Beck art on Twitter, Instagram. She's got some amazing stuff on there. Earrings, tea coasters, you name it, she does it. But yeah, absolutely brilliant to be partnered with her. So yeah.
And the image itself is actually from when Caldente scored against Lyon in the semi-final as well, second leg. So it's again leaning on that as well. We thought brilliant. But yeah, basically, as you can see, done another wheel tonight, and I'm going to go to it now. We've got 34 entries. If it lands on me, we'll spin again because I'm not going to win the giveaway.
Is it like a Wheel of Fortune? Is it like that?
Yeah.
Like
basically, a Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, it's like 34. 34 names, Wheel of Fortune. Right. Pick your poison. But yeah, good luck to everyone, and yeah, see you on the other side.
Okay.
Oh my God, the tension.
This is worse than the Champions League final.
It's a fix.
For real?
Congratulations, Ryan.
Let's try that one again.
Let's spin it again.
Oh,
watch Liam
This
come
is
out.
where he wins it again.
Yeah, or Liam.
Or Liam, yeah. Oh. Saxon 71, there we go.
71. Congratulations, mate. If you're watching, obviously reach out to one of us and we'll pass your details on to Ryan. Well, I'm sure one of us will get in contact with him as well anyways. So yeah, there you go. Just proves it's not a fix as well. Ryan won it first.
It's like the Champions League draw, isn't it? Like,
we just needed Rod Stewart pissed to do.
Maybe Ryan come like stars with their eyes tonight. Jonesy, I'll be Rod Stewart.
No, that's it, guys. Thank you very much for popping on for the first show. Like I say, we'll be back over the summer, partnering up with George, do some transfers, do some bit about the Euros. But we'll also be doing our separate shows as well along the way. So just keep your eyes on the socials, the Discord hub if you're in there, and also on Twitter as well. So all that's left for me to do is thank my wonderful panel for tonight. G, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you. Yeah, can't wait to see what you do next with it.
I think, your voice
The
has gone
Daleks have took her.
Yeah, you've gone robotic again. Your phone's still in Lisbon.
It's a new Doctor Who series, the Mystery of G.
And Chantel, thank you very much for coming on tonight. First time on, brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, and look forward to seeing more shows and hopefully being a part of more shows.
Oh, no, definitely. Always welcome on. Same as you, Andrew, as well. Thank you very much for coming on tonight.
Cheers, Jonesy. I had a blast. Thank you.
Excellent. And Ryan, of course, fearless leader. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me on as well. And almost went pear-shaped at the end there with the old giveaway, but rules are rules.
It's live TV, mate. It's all right. And George, thank you very much for your help today, mate. We're setting up shows on call quite a bit this afternoon, weren't we? But
yeah,
We just
No problem.
things planned in the weeks to come, and yeah, stay tuned. But where can we find you, mate? Plug your show, mate. Go for it.
So yeah, once thanks for having me on as well. Andrew and Chantel probably think this is a bit weird because that's probably the first show I've done without swearing. So maybe I'm turning a leaf. So yeah, you can find us on YouTube at the Arsenal Women Chat Show. Also, we have a Twitter handle with at Arsenal Women Chat Show. You kind of get the picture. But also you can find us doing some good stuff, obviously with Jonesy as well, and on the Discord hub. And before we go, if you guys do watch our shows, which well, not if you should, so you can't really let the people with disabilities down now. Come on. The person who's actually done all our graphics is actually Jonesy. So once again, just want to say thank you to him for everything he's helped with, and Ryan, thanks for giving us this opportunity as well.
Excellent. No, thank you guys. It's a pleasure to help out each other, and that's what we do. We're a family, and that's what we do. Arsenal fans together. So yeah, all that's left for me to say is good night, guys. I'm going to leave. Thanks to everyone in the chat as well. It's been great interaction in there as well. Just before we go, yeah, someone's put Manchester United women. It was great to end on a joke, isn't it? At the end of the show.
Who are they?
Someone called Alan. Yeah. Here we go.
Oh, Alan.
That's a joke for tonight to end the show. Brilliant. We won't give him
Alan Smith's in the chat.
Before we go, there's a little video I just want to play. I'm sure you'll all enjoy. But we'll catch you again soon. Good night, everyone.